Hi, hello. This is Ewebtutor. I'm here to teach you how to have your own hosting company like GoDaddy.com, like FalconHost.com with lesser than 12,000 naira. In order for you to have your own hosting company, you need four different things. The first one is a domain name. Like every hosting company has their own domain name. For example, now falconhost.com is a hosting company. It has its own domain name where the customer where their customer goes in order to buy hosting space and will get a domain name, including SSL and stuff like that. Also, GoDaddy.com is also a domain name that their customer can where the customer can go and be able to buy their hosting services. So we have a lot of hosting site like that. So every hosting site must have a domain name. So you yourself, you have to actually uh, choose a name, whatever name you actually want to use. That is the first step. You have to identify the name you want to use. The second thing is you need a server, and you can get a server from Falcon Host. So it's not a shared hosting. You can scroll down to where you will see a reseller hosting. So there are a lot of reseller hosting, which is the server that you can get from um, Falcon Host. Then the lowest one is 10,000 naira. With this 10,000 naira, you will have access to 30 gig, 250 gig bandwidth. You can be able to create 60 hosting accounts, meaning you can host a.com, b.com, c.com. You can host any kind of website, but the total amount of website you can host on this package, it is 60 hosting accounts. But know something about this 30 gig. Even though you buy this hosting package of 10,000 naira, that doesn't mean that you can, even though you buy this hosting package for 10,000, even though you buy this hosting package for 10,000 naira, that doesn't mean that you cannot sell unlimited hosting account for your customer. You can actually sell it. So what we as an hosting as a server data center, what we are actually doing, what we're actually selling for you is 30 gig. Meaning, even though you create 60 accounts on this, you could actually set any values you actually want to set to your customer. You can even sell unlimited. Even though you buy 30 gig from us, you can sell unlimited. But what happens is this: whatever your user, the total amount of gig that all your users or all your hosting accounts are using is what we are charging you with. So meaning you can create a hosting account for user A, and you give that user A 500 gig, even though you are buying 30 gig from us. The 500 gig is just actually a number that the accounts that you are trying to create for them is actually a number. So even though you are creating 500 gig for them, that doesn't mean that you will not be able to create it. Even though you are buying the real server, you are buying you yourself, you are buying 30 gig from us. So you can create as many gig for people, but we are not going to charge you based on what you are creating for your customer. We are going to charge you on based on how many gig space does your total customer do they use. So imagine a situation whereby you do a hosting plan of 30 gig with us, and you host for three websites. You host for a.com. They bought a plan of 500 gig from you. b.com, they bought a plan of 20 gig from you. Then c.com, they bought a plan of, let's say, 10 gig from you. Note, you've already sold the total amount of gigabyte that you have sold is 530 gig, even though you are just buying ordinary 30 gig from us. But we are not going to charge you based on how many gig you are creating to people. You can actually create unlimited gig for people. But what we are going to charge you, let's now say when they are to upload all their files for their site, for when a.com is supposed to upload all the videos, all the pictures of all their site for them, let's say they upload 2 gig worth of data. Let's say b.com also upload 1 gig worth of data, and c.com also upload let's say 2 gig of data. The total amount of gigabytes we are going to charge you is just 2 plus 1 plus 2, which is 5. We are going to charge you 5 of 30 gig that you buy, meaning the remaining gig that you have left is 25 gig. So the remaining gig you have left is 25 gig. So it simply means we are not, whatever you create for your user, which your users are seeing, is not what we are charging you with. We are charging you with what they have used in amount of the gig. So it's possible you buy a memory card of 1 gig, and by the time you are uploading your files on the memory card, maybe your music, you only upload 200 megabytes. So you are not being calculated. We cannot say you have consumed your 1 gig, because you've only used what you have always used in it is what we are calculating. So in these times, even though you create 530 gig for people, we are only charging you 5 gig, because that is the number of gigabyte that they have used in what they purchase. So let's not say ape.com now was, because you sell 500 gig, let's say ape.com now use about 35 gig, meaning the total gig is what, even though you are the total gig now that is used is 38 gig, you are just buying 30 gig. So we are going to suspend your accounts, because the total gig that your user are using has supersede what you buy with us. So we suspend that. I will ask you to actually upgrade your account, meaning you just have to pay us a particular fee to move your account from maybe 30 gig to whatever, maybe 50 or 100 gig or so. But meaning before you can create 500 gig for a.com, you will have actually charged them a lot. Note, this 30 gig, we are only selling it 10,000 naira for you. This, if you are going to sell 500 gig, at least you won't collect anything lesser than 100,000 naira for this kind of plan. So if you collect 100,000 naira, at least you still make more profit, even though you just buy it from us for just 10,000 naira. So that is just the explanation with server. Then, apart from the domain name and the server, the other thing you need is that you will discover that this is a hosting company, and go.com also is a hosting company. But in order for you to build maybe this kind of website that people can search a domain name, whether it's available or not, they can log into their profile to make purchases of your domain name or hosting in your hosting company. In order for you to have this kind of scripts for people, you actually need a developer, maybe a programmer, to actually help you to build this kind of application that will allow you to charge your customer, that will allow your customer to be able to search for domain name, whether it's available or not in your hosting company, that will also allow your customer to be able to get a hosting account. So meaning this kind of interface, apart from this domain, this kind of interface that you are seeing right now, it actually requires programming to be able to do all this, because it's not just this interface. It also has a place whereby customer can register, they can log into their profile, they can buy new domain name on their profile. So all these things are what we refer to as a script. So because we discovered that even though you can buy a server and you can also have a domain name, you may not have the expertise to actually develop this kind of system to allow you to allow your user to actually buy domain name from you. So that is the reason we now develop what we refer to as the web host CMS. Web host CMS is just exactly by the time you download, by the time you install this CMS to your domain name, that is the domain name you are buying for your hosting company, by the time you install this CMS that we design, you have something like this, where user can search for domain name, where user can, so you don't actually need any code to actually do all this. All this is it already comes with a web host content management system. So your user can register, your user can log into their profile, your user can do a lot of things, buy domain name, buy hosting, without you actually writing a single code. So in order for you to actually do that, you need to get our web host CMS. Our web host CMS, it is free for you to actually download. You can click on it now. It will ask you to download. It's 15.4 MB. So this script is what you are going to put on your web host for your hosting company, and in about some seconds you'll be able to do whatever you want to do. So meaning this script is actually free, but you are going to pay 500 naira on monthly basis for your license for the script. The script, you download it free, but in order for you to use it, it requires you to have a license. So the license is 500 naira per month. So if you like, you can pay for 3 years. If you like, you can pay for 12 months, depending on you. But it's just 500 naira per month. So Then the last thing, apart from the Falcon host web host CMS, the last thing you need is the publicity. You can do this by paying Facebook or Google to actually publicize your hosting company so that you have more visitor, more traffic to your hosting company. So I think you can search tutorial online on how to actually create how to actually you can search tutorial online on how to actually create um you can search tutorial online on how to actually publicize your website on maybe Google or Facebook or Yahoo, depending on whichever one that you are using. So these are just the four basic things in which you need to actually have a hosting company. And if you notice very well, the only thing you are buying is a domain name, a server, and as well as you are getting a web host content management system, which is just, so let's say you are getting a domain name of the domain name, let's say you are using .com. .com is around 1.5 naira. .com.ng, sorry, .com.ng domain name is around 1.5 naira. Then the server, the lowest plan that we have in Falcon Notes is 10,000 naira. Then the Falcon web host CMS is just 500 naira per month. So the only thing you just need to be paying everywhere, this server is for a year. You are going to renew it after 1 year. The same thing with the domain name is for a year. You are going to renew it after 1 year. Then the Falcon host web management host system, web CMS host CMS is just 500 naira per month. So that means you just need to be renewing this one, and depending on what, so everything is just about 12,000 naira. So right now, in order for me to get all this, it is very, very simple. All I need to do is to go to falconhost.com. Then I will go to register as a new member. If you are a new member, you are going to register. In order for you to get a server, you have to first register. So you can fill in the registration form. So when you fill in the registration form, they will send a confirmation link to your email address that you submitted during the registration, and you can confirm it. So when you confirm it, you log into your profile. I've already registered, so all I just need to do is to actually log into my profile. So let me log into my profile. So this is my email address, so my password. So let me log in. So it's telling me right now that my username or password is not correct, so meaning my account is not correct. So let me try a different account. So yeah, I log in successfully. I already have some hosting accounts. This is not the issue. What I'm trying to do right now is to get in Falcon Host. I want to get all these things I need to start up my own hosting company. So the first thing I'm going to do is to get the domain name. But since I'm buying the server on falconhost.com again, so I don't need to just get domain name only. I can get the domain name and the server at once. So in order to do that, I will just go to register domain. So let's say, what is the name of the domain name I want to use? Let's say I actually want to use hosts in Nigeria plc.com.ng. I'll just stick here. So the name of my own hosting company that I want to do is host in Nigeria plc.com.ng. So I will say look up. So if the name is available, it's going to tell me that the name is available. Can you see? So right now, it's telling me that host in Nigeria plc.com.ng is telling me is 1,000. It's not even up to 1.5. It's telling me per 1 year is 1,399. So it's not telling me that did I want to host. Don't forget, you are not hosting, because hosting is just a single account for this host Nigeria PLC. Don't forget that what you are doing is that you are buying a domain name and you are also buying a server, not a host. So in this list now, you have to select reseller from 10,000 there. Don't forget that's this reseller we store outside. You are going to select the 10,000 area. Note, before I was able to get to this point, I have to actually register in Falcon Notes and log into my profile. So from my profile, I click on register, then there I was able to search the domain name I want to use. So if this domain name is not available, I have to be keeping adjusting the domain name until I find the one that is available and that I like. So now I can just select. You don't select hosting, because normal hosting is just a single hosting account for this. But what you are doing is that you want to buy a server that will allow you to host as many websites as possible. So I'm going with this 10,000 plan, which is 30 gig. So I'll click on it. Then the next thing is order now. So once I click on order now, note this is my 1 year domain name and my hosting. It has an hosting, RH1 hosting, meaning is the server hosting. So I will select all these things. So I will leave this as it is. I will continue. So can you see? So this is my invoice. So my details is already here. So which method did I want to use to pay Falcon Host for this thing? So the total I'm paying is 11,399 naira. So I will tell them I want to use my ATM card, so or bank transfer, anyone. So I'll accept this. I'll comply. So before you know it, this is my invoice. Can you see? This is my invoice. So I'm expected to pay into Falcon Host account. I'm expected to pay. So it now depends on whichever account. So is it through bank transfer or cash deposit or through an ATM? So if it's through ATM, I just need to click on pay stack, just as I will say pay stack. Then before you know it, it's going to show me information on my credit card. Yeah, I was expected to send my card number, send the validity date and the CVV2. So once I click on pay, the money will be charged in my account to Falcon Host account, and from there they can be able to activate my account and send me the required details. So this is if I'm paying through card. But if I want to pay through PayPal or through Falcon Host account, I'll just click on bank transfer and cash deposit. So there, once I click on this, you will see this is their account number. So they have GTB accounts, they have UBA accounts, they have First Bank account, and this is their account name. So you can pay into this now and go to under tickets in your Falcon Host profile and send the details of your payments. Then they will be able to confirm your account and create your reseller account for you. As simple as that. So either way, whether I want to pay through bank or I want to pay through card, whatever means in which I want to pay, once I make the payments, they are going to send me the details of my hosting company. So that is the first step. They are going to send me the details. I will show you the details in which they are going to send. So after you make the payment, you are going to have a mail. You are going to receive a mail after they confirm your payment. You will have a mail like this. They will ask you the hosting details cPanel is whenever you want to go to the server cPanel, because right now this is not an hosting account, it's a server. So the server cPanel account, you can access it by going to hostinNigeriaplc.com/cPanel. Then the WHM URL, I will tell you what WHM is for. WHM stands for Web Host Manager. The URL for your Web Host Manager is your domain name /WHM. Your temporary, because right now when you create when you just create a hosting account or a server that has a domain name, the domain name will not be visible immediately. It will be in about 24 hours or lesser than that before you start seeing it online. So in order for you to be able to access your domain name before this time is why we have the temporarily cPanel URL, which you can access the domain name with. You can access your hosting with an IP address, a temporarily IP address, until your domain name will propagate. Propagation means the state at which your domain name is visible online. So your website URL, which is normal site name, your temp website URL, you can see that the difference between this and temp cPanel URL is just the /cPanel, and the difference between website URL and the hosting cPanel URL is just the /cPanel. So they will now send you the cPanel username and the cPanel password, which is the same thing as the WHM username. Since it's a server, it's WHM username and WHM password. So the cPanel is the same password you use for your cPanel is the same password that you are going to use for your WHM password. So The only thing, normal hosting company, I believe you know what an hosting company, or how they use cPanel. And if you don't know how you can use the cPanel, you can go back to our video on YouTube on how to use cPanel. So we have a video on how to use cPanel, but this tutorial is not talking about cPanel. So about WHM also, in order to know how to use WHM, we have a video that talks about how to use WHM in Ewebtutor, which you can also work on. But in order for you to be able to, WHM in a nutshell is just where you can create multiple hosting accounts. That is a play. Your cPanel is just for that site, your own hosting company. For example, Falcon Host now, all this interface you are seeing now is on Falcon Host hosting, is on Falcon Host web hosts, meaning your own cPanel. All these documents, all this something you are seeing is placed on the cPanel of falconhost.com. But falconhost.com is a server. With it you can actually host as many websites you want to host on it. So in order for you as a hosting company to be able to create multiple cPanel accounts, that is where you use your WHM URL. So for example, now if I'm going to show you this now, note this host in Nigeria PLC is not registered. I'm just using it to explain for you. So I'm going to use a hosting company, a server that is registered, which is falconhost/WHM. So right now, the same thing as what you do, you press your hosting company that just on the domain name /WHM, then you have your WHM. So the password, which is the same as your cPanel password that we sent you, you are going to enter it, and your password, the cPanel password and the cPanel username. So when you click on login, so when you log into your WHM now, you will see a lot of things. So in order for you to be able to know how to use WHM, I will advise you to go and watch our video on WHM. You'll be able to see how to. So this is a WHM right now. You'll discover that if you have been familiar with cPanel, you discover what you are seeing here is very, very different from cPanel. So it's WHM. So the major thing, all these things are just a lot of things, but the major things that you need in a WHM, the major thing is to create an account, and this is how you do that. When you just you will see create new account. So in order for you to create new hosting account for your customer, you click on create new account. So don't forget, I told you we have a video on WHM. You can still watch that video to have much knowledge on the usage, all these tabs that are in WHM. But right now we are just going to show you how to create an account so that you understand what we are talking about. So when you log into your WHM, so you have access to actually create as many accounts as possible you actually want to create. So right now it's asking for domain name. So the domain name of the new account, let's say I want to host a.com, the domain name, you put it here. What is the username that you want to set? Because when you are creating hosting account for any particular user, you have to set the number of the username that you want to give them. So I may give this user this username. Then the password, I have to set the password. Maybe I have to give them a password. So, but note, when you are sending the mail, you are sending to them. When you are sending the mail in which you are sending to them, you are going to send this username and password, because this is what they will be able to use to log into their cPanel. So, meaning what you are, when you go to create account on WHM, you are simply creating a hosting account for a particular user or a particular customer in your hosting company. So, whatever username you select here and the password you select here is what you are going to have to give to them. Then the email, this one can be your email. So right now I have created this domain name, I have created the hosting account, I have created username and password. So the only thing now is to select package. Disk space, how many disk space? If it's unlimited, you select unlimited. Even though you are buying 30 gig, you can still set unlimited. And if you know that it's just 10 gig you want to sell to that customer, you just press 10,000. This thing is in megabytes. So the same thing with bandwidth, the same thing with email. How many email do you want it to have? How many SQL database do you want it to have? So right now it is at default on unlimited. You can reduce it to whatever you want to reduce it. But what I'm just trying to say right now is that you have ability to sell a lot of space or limited space to your customer. You are not limited because you buy 30 gig from us. We are not calculating it based on what you are selling to your customer. We are calculating it based on what your customer are actually using. That's what you are calculating it on. So once you set this, all you need to do, you can ignore the other place. You just click on create. So when you are creating hosting accounts automatically, once you finish creating it, it's going to, the username and password that you use here now, if the customer, look at it now, this customer is creating this domain name a.com. So if you are to send a mail, you are going to send hosting account, you will say a.com. Then under the hosting details cpanel, it will be a.com/cpanel. WHM, the customer don't need to have WHM because they are not buying a server from you, they are buying a hosting account from you. Temporary cpanel, it will be, you, by the time you create this account, it will give you the IP address, then it will be IP address / cpanel. Website URL will be a.com as usual. Temp website URL will be that IP address that they give you. Then the username is not going to be WHM, it will be cpanel username, will be the username you create when you are creating the hosting account, and the password that you set here. So for more details about creating hosting account in WHM, you can watch our video on WHM. But right now, what I'm going to tell you right now is, if you get this option number 4, which is the option number 3, this Falcon Host Web Hosting CMS, you don't actually need to be coming to WHM to create a hosting account for your user manually, because the script at which we are selling you, the WHM, the web host CMS that we are selling you, is already have inside it an API to actually connect to your WHM and create this account automatically. So meaning, whenever a user like me now, whenever I make payment through ATM or I make payment through an online payment, immediately the system discover, the system is not the hosting company, immediately the system discover that somebody, so person has paid this so amount for this domain name and for this hosting, it automatically connects to the web host, to the WHM of this hosting company, and create the hosting account and send the username and password to the customer. Because the customer, when they are creating their account on Falcon Host, they actually register their email address. So when they make a payment for a hosting account, the script, which is Falcon Host Web Host Manager, the CMS, the script already creates a it already have an API inside it that connects to the WHM and create the web hosts, any web host you want to create automatically. So the reason I'm just teaching you how to access this WHM is just that if you feel as if you want to create a hosting account manually, but if you are using our web host CMS, you don't actually need it. You can just have it, but you will not actually make use of it, since your customer will be paying with their ATM card, and once they pay with their ATM card, the system, you don't need to bother about how we do it. We already did it. So the system is going to create the cPanel for them automatically. So, and it will send the username and password. The username and password that you had initially create here is going to send it to this particular customer you are creating this account for, because we already have their email you already have their email when they are registering in your website. Don't forget that I told you that the web host CMS already has this registration and login. So your customer will register before they get a hosting account. So when they are to get to the point of payment, once they pay with their ATM card, the system takes their email address and send the username and password. By the time it creates the username and password from the WHM for them, it sends it to their email address. So more tutorial, you can learn about our WHM web hosts, WHM tutorial. You can get that on YouTube and you can know more about that. So right now, the last thing which I have already told you about is the Falcon Hosts CMS. So right now, you have already get a server, you have already get a domain name, and they have already sent you the details. The next thing is just for you to download our web host manager. So all you need to do is go to falconhost.com, you click on the download web host manager, then you click on download. So once you click on download, so once you finish downloading it, so it has finished downloading. So I'll just click on it and open it. Can you see now? There are 3 files inside it. We have the Falcon Host file. So this file, what you are going to do right now is you are going to zip all this file. Whatever the content that is inside this Falcon Host is what you are going to place on your www or htdoc directory. Don't place this whole folder there. You understand what I'm trying? If I were you, this is what I'm going to do. So I will go to my cPanel, meaning, by the time you get the server and they send you the details, you already have a cPanel. You can go log into your cPanel, then go to the file manager. So if I were you, what I would do is this script is already there, public underscore HTML or www directory, anyone you can place inside it, not inside this place. You place inside www underscore, it's already there, all the files are already there. But let's not say you understand that if you are just doing this thing newly and you get the server and they send you the details, they send you the web hosting details, you log on to your cPanel, all this place is still going to be blank. So all you need to do is download the Falcon Host web host CMS. When you download it, you have this file. This you can find it by going to is here, which is a script. So all I need to do is go to my w directory or public underscore HTML, then click on upload. Then you select the file scripts, you select it and you upload it. So after you finish uploading it, you will see it here, it's already there. So just omit every other things that are here, because when you just get a server, you will not have any file there. I already upload these scripts here, that's why you can see all these things. So all I need to do is to click on this and extract the file. So when you extract the file on your WHM, what you are going to have is you just have these three files inside your public underscore HTML. But note, this thing must not be inside, all these documents we have must not be inside this Falcon node. So what you can do is that you can enter into this thing and Control A all this file and move all this file to the major structure. So what I'm just trying to say in essence that however you want to do it, I'm not asking you to move this Falcon host, to move it to your public underscore HTML. What I'm asking is, I'm asking you to extract all the files inside Falcon host. All these things that you are seeing now, all these things is what I want you to move directly inside the public underscore HTML. So however you want to do that, and if you need assistance, you can contact us on that. So I've already moved them. You can see these are them. The same file that you have, the same file you have here, which you are say activate admin, is the same file that you have. It's the same file that you have over here. So what it implies is that I already move everything that is here. I already move it to the public underscore HTML. So note, when you are doing this thing for the first time, after you move it and you go to your site, note it's not Falcon this time around, but you go to whatever site, which is what is the server. You go to host in Nigeria plc.com.ng. You go directly to the site. Automatically, it's going to ask you for license. So the home page will just open. You have something like this exactly, but when you go to maybe register or login, it's going to ask you for a license. So that license is what you need to get. And in order for you to get a license from us, it's actually going to point you to where you need to get a license from us. So in order for you to, if you need any more details, so by the time you go to the script in which you download under the manual, you will see it there. Look at it. Register an account on Falcon Host. We have done this. Once this is the manual of the web host CMS. This is the manual which you can follow. So first thing is to register a new account in Falcon Host at this, confirm the email address. Then the next thing is, if you need to buy a license from us, go to this link. That's the next step. We already have the manual, so you don't need to waste your time. So you buy the license from our own site. So this is where you can buy a license and you can extend the license. But note, before you buy a license, you must first register on Falcon Host if you don't have an account. And you must have logged into your account before you price. It's very, very important. Else you will not be able to do that. That's why we said you should register a new account and confirm your email address. So make sure that before you buy a new license, before you visit this link you are looking at, before you visit this link, first log in to Falcon Host. Then visit the link. Then select the number of months you want for the license. What is the domain name? In your example, don't put HTTP must not be there or www must not be there. In your example, you are getting, this is the domain name you are getting. So you just copy this. Then what is your own email address? You put it there. Then you say buy license. So meaning I'm buying 6 month license. So when you click on buy license, you follow the payment procedure, maybe by paying through bank or by paying through ATM. So at the end of the day, we are going to send a license to you. So whatever license we send to you is what you are going to enter. You understand? When you are viewing your website, because when you view, by the time you install, you upload all the files you meet inside this folder. You upload it in your public underscore HTML. It's going to ask you for a license, and if you don't have, you have to first go and get it in this link, on this link. So once you get it, for the license we sent to your email is now what you are not going to use where it was asking you for license. So by the time you get the license, but before you get the license, by the time you get the license, we will tell you where to use the uh where to use where to actually use the license. We are going to have to tell you on that. So all you just need to do right now is to follow this process. So log into your WH hosting cPanel, create a database, upload Falcon host web host manager script on your which is what you have done. Edit the file to your database settings. So you should edit public underscore HTML, includes config. There's a folder called config.php under the includes. Edit it to your database details, your read database details. So you should upload your SQL to your database and import it. The SQL that you are going to import is what you can find here. It's inside the script. This is it. It's the database. So you import it. Then after you import it, then you can follow all this process to actually set up a hosting, set it up. But if you actually do not have the technical to actually pass through all these steps, if you actually did not have the technicality to actually pass through all these steps, you can contact us. We can do all these things for you free with no charges. We can do all these things for you free with no charges. So you can contact us on that, maybe support, register on Falcon Notes, log in and send us a support. Then we can be able to create all these things for you. You understand? So if you actually need us to do it for you, we are very, very happy to do it for you without collecting any money from you. We'll set it up for you and we'll be able to teach you but the last thing that is very, very important, you will discover when you get the scripts, all the logo, the site name, the email address, all the things that deals with the site is going to be Falcon host. In order for you to change all these things, by the time you will set up the account, or you set up the account by looking at this manner for you, you go to your hosting company website. Like for example now, you go to your hosting Nigeria PLC, but since we don't have that one yet, I'll just go to Falcon host. So I go to the hosting company. So you go to client area. So it will ask you to log in. So the admin login details, firstly, when you first create it, before you change it, we already have it here. The admin login details is the default. Admin is username is admin, the password is 123456. That is the default. So you go to username admin, then password is 123456. Then you use it to log in. So once you log in, note when you are logging in with admin accounts, when you are logging in with your admin account to your web OCMS, you have some access that a normal customer will not have. Example is this admin settings. You can only see it on admin account when you log in with your admin account, but you cannot see it on other customer accounts. Another thing is the TLD management and the hosting package management. Those are the three things that as an administrator you have access to. So we are going to start with the admin settings. When you go to the admin settings, don't forget I told you that the logo is Falcon host. right now my site name is falconhosts.com.ng. That's why you see that the logo right now is actually located in logo.png. You can trace this directory and customize your own logo, name it logo.png, and replace this file. This file, if your site has been hostme.com, it will have been hostme.com/img/kineko. So you can trace it in your file manager. If you can't do this, you can send us your logo, we can do it for you. The same thing with your favicon icon. Favicon icon is all these icons that you are seeing here. All these icons are what is referred to as the favicon icon. So you can create whatever icon you want it to be. You can send it to us. We can also do that for you. So site name, note, I told you that when you install the script for the first time, what you are going to see is Falcon Host. So look at it now. The Falcon Host you are seeing here is just because of I have it here. So if I change this thing to another thing differently, if I change it to hostme, whatever I change it to will be what you are going to see at the top of this page or throughout the site. So meaning admin settings is where you can configure so that every settings that has been there for Falcon Host, you can set it to your own taste. The same thing with the domain URL. You can set this into your own URL. The email address, meaning, for example, now like this invoice now, when a user wants to create an invoice, normally a mail should be sent to the user's email address. So is the email that the hosting company sets that will be the sender ID. So meaning if I'm a user and I buy this, this plan, I should be able to receive an email about this invoice from Falcon Host, but it will be the Falcon Host email address that should send it to my email. So this is where you can actually configure that, whatever email you want it to be. So now the WHM license. This is where the license in which we give you over time. Maybe you want to extend your license and you get a new license. This is where you can place the license. So the license that we give you when you buy a new license from us, the license we give you, like here now, when you buy a new license, the license we give you is where you upload over here. So it's a set of strings. So you just dump it here. So right now, this you will discover that this is on and off. This is WHM automate. It means if you put this thing to off, it simply means whenever a user, even though they are paying with their credit card, ATM card, whenever they buy a hosting account, the WHM, the cPanel username and password, the cPanel account details, which means the thing that is being created in WHM is not going to be created because you have actually unselect WHM automate. But if I put this one to on now, it means that whenever a user pay with their ATM card, automatically the username and password will be sent to their email address because the hosting account will be created to them automatically and the username and password will be sent to their hosting account, as into their email accounts. So you can now decide if you want the cPanel account to be created automatically or manually. If you want it to be created automatically, you just leave it on. So that when the user make the payments, the system will be the one that will create the hosting account and send the username and password to the user. You don't have to do anything. But if you put it manually, that means whenever the user make a payment, you yourself need to go to your WHM. That is where this WHM is important. You need to go to your WHM and click on create new account and use your hand to send the username and password of the new account, the hosting account that you create for that customer, to the email of that customer manually. So depending whether you want to do it manually or you want to do it automatically. So in order for you to be able to connect, for this application to be able to connect to your WHM and create the account whenever you want it to create the account, if you set it to automatically, you need the WHM's username. This username we give you when we are creating the account for you, and the password we give you when you are creating the account for you. Then the IP address, we also give you the IP address. This is the IP address. For example, now this is the IP address. So you don't have to use the HTTP. You just copy this IP address only, then you use it here. Then the port is always 2087. But if you have any problem, you can get back to us. So that is just on WHM. Another thing that require you to on and off is a paystack game to gateway. We have already impute a payment gateway here that you don't actually need to do anything. All you need to do is a paystack is a payment gateway that you can use. Paystack allow you to collect money on your site with ATM card. allow you to charge people ATM card. How it works, the technology, you don't have to bother about yourself about it. It already comes with the script. All you need to do is go to Paystack account, go to paystack.com, go to paystack.com, go and create an account. So when you create an account there, they are going to give you a Paystack public key. In case you are having issue about it, you can contact us, we can help you, or you contact Paystack on how you can get your public key. You can contact Paystack on that, on how you can get your public key. So when you get your public key, you can uh, use your public key. You can use it over here. So you can use your public key over here. Then all you just need to do is just paste your public key. But note, when you off this one, whenever somebody, they will not be able to see where they can pay with ATM card once you off this. Meaning you don't want to allow people to pay with ATM card. But once you on it, it means you want to allow people to pay with ATM card. So the address you put over here is the address that your user, your customer, they see on your invoice or any other thing, like this address now. So whatever you put inside this place, sorry, whatever you see, whatever you put inside this place is what your customer see over here. So whatever you want it to be, you can set it there. So this one also is also at your address, your city, your state, your details. So the bank account details, so whatever I put here, it accepts HTML, is what your user will see over here. So you can update this thing, contain Falcon Nose bank account details. You can update it to your own so that your customer can, I'm just using Falcon Nose to explain because we've already created it. So if you are to use your own, you'll be using your own name, not Falcon Nose, since this script will have been installed on your own. So if you don't have any idea on how you can do it, or you cannot understand this manual, or you want us to do it for you, we are always there to help you. Whenever your customer log into their profile, there is an important notice and they read important announcement. So you can update whatever information you want it to be there. You can update it here. So whatever you changes, so when you make any changes, just click on update to update the settings. So once ever you click on update, then the settings will be updated. So whatever you have changed will go there. So imagine the logo, you can design the logo and forward it to yours. We can do it for you, or you trace this directory in your site, because now it's Falcon Nose, but by the time you are installing it on your own something, it's going to be your own site name. So you can change it and you see the way. So the second thing that I want to talk about is the TLD management. The TLD management is when I click on my domain name the other time, register new domain name, you can see TLD is an extension. All this extension now, in case you want to add or you want to remove, you understand? In case you want to add or you want to remove, you can add. But note, you have to start with dots. So if you want to add any other thing, .net.ng, you can add it. Then you can set the price. So whatever price you give it is what your customer will see. So already, these are the list of extension that is already there, which the price has there. So you can use this link to edit. In case you want to update, maybe any price has changed, you can use this to delete if you want to delete anything. And this is how you can create new prices for it. So that is just on TLD management. So another thing is the hosting package management. So like the price we set in the home page, like our pricing in the home page now, like our pricing in the home page. So all these things is what you can create new prices or edit new prices from your place. So just go over, in order for you to have much more knowledge on what is happening in the hosting account, because right now you can create new hosting accounts and you can match a hosting account that you have created. You can merge it to a package name that you have in your WHM. But since we have not really explained about the package name here, we have not really explained to you. So I think you should go over, when you get to this point, you should go over to our WHM tutorial, so that you have much knowledge on what a package is and why you need to match a hosting account, that hosting name that you want to use, a hosting name that you want to set for prices, like reseller hosting RH4, like the prices, the hosting name prices you want to sell, and how you want to, why you want to merge it with a package name in your WHM. So you can check our tutorial out on why you are doing that. So right now, whatever price you supply here will be the price for the hosting account. Like right now, I supply 30,000 naira for this RH4 plan. I supply 25 for this standard plan. So you too can supply prices. So whatever prices you supply there is what people are going to pay when they are buying that domain name. So in case you are having problem with setting up your account, we can actually do it for you. So lastly, that you can also do is under ad fund. Imagine a situation whereby a customer, some customer will just feel like, I want to deposit 20,000 naira, so that anytime I want to buy a hosting account, I don't have to be going to bank to go and be buying it. So that kind of customer can pay in your bank account and they want you to credit them. Look at it now. Whenever a customer log in here, under the account credit balance, they will see the balance that they have in their account. So you as the admin can be the one to you will be the one to be funding this amount for them. So they will pay the money into their bank account. Then you can come here. How much they pay into your bank account? 5,000 naira. Then their email address, you can supply it. Then when you supply it, you click on phone account. Automatically, this customer email with this email address will see 5,000 naira in their account balance. So this is the means at which a customer can make a prepaid money. They can pay you first before services, and you can cost. So they can actually use, like right now, if I have money inside this account now and I want to buy a something, I can actually pay from my balance. So that's this option there. So a customer that has money in his wallet can actually pay you from the money they have from their wallets or from their balance. So any invoice you issue now, they can just go to pay from my balance. So they don't actually need to pay through bank transfer because they already have money inside their account balance on your website. So on that is just on that aspect. So also a customer can maybe want to, like this customer now, make a purchases of about 13,000 or 11,399. This customer can went ahead and pay this money into the bank account, and instead of you activating the service manually for them, you can just credit them with this amount, and the customer can go back to this place and click on pay from your balance and still those do the same thing. It's just that if you activate it for them, you have to manually create the WHM and you have to manually send them the password. But if you credit their account balance in your website, the customer can just click on pay from your balance, and all the things they need to do by the cPanel will create itself automatically, and the email will be sent to him without you actually doing anything. So you may not think on the time you actually use in to go to WHM and to create a customer account and to send the email, and the time at which you just fund the wallet of that user, and the user can actually click on this link, him or herself, and the details, it will still receive the details. So whichever ones that pays you, it matters. So I think you have to you will be interested in our WHM tutorial. You can also check that out so that you have much knowledge on what we are trying to say. But if you are having any difficulties or any problem, you can actually contact us. We will be there to help you out without collecting any setup fee or any charges. So lastly is the marketing, which I think you can consult. um, Once you set it up, you can, the name of your website, you can write it on maybe Facebook, that okay, host maybe 3,000 naira plan, maybe you have 3,000 naira plan, the cheapest host in Nigeria, things like that. You can write a lot of history, and you can go to a lot of sites online, post your website there, and let people know that you are hosting for people, and you have you have good customer relation. So by the time people trust you and they start, the first person hosts, the second person hosts, before you know it, they will also be bringing traffic. And you know, a programmer can host 20 websites. So it's not as if maybe somebody will just open an account and will just host once. Anytime they still want to host, they will still be using the same account. So all you just need to do is to just publicize your. So what I would just advise you is to actually look at other hosting companies, look at the price at which he is charging, and see how you can reduce your own, or have the book, because how you can reduce your own to have with a better service, and how you can actually convince people. So this to round up hosting, how you can set up your own hosting company with lesser than 12,000 naira. Thank you very much.